Hey, good afternoon, everybody, and thanks for joining. You know, having a home practice rig definitely gives you an advantage. There are things that you can practice on, even though it might not mimic real-world scenarios. Now, you guys have been around my channel long enough to know that my table's gone through an evolution, and it's going through another one right now. I'll have a new table here at some point, but until then, I have to do something. So check it out. See how I'm practicing today. All right, so you want to level up your craps game. You want to be a little bit better, but you don't necessarily have a lot of money. You might not have a lot of space, but you still want to do that practice. So what can you do? Well, the good news is there are some things that you can work on. Now, when I first started my journey, I had bought a felt off of Amazon for about 12 bucks, and I would actually throw the dice onto my breakfast bar. And of course, the dice went all over the place, so that didn't work very well, but it was the beginning. I had a few canceled dice from the casino. I had a few coins that I left in my pocket and things like that. So I was in this for about 12 to 15 bucks. That's all it was, and that's how I got started. And of course, I went on to build a table and in a kind of a Frankenstein mode. As I had a little bit of money, I would do something and make it a little bit better. And like I mentioned in the introduction, I'm going through another evolution. I'm actually getting a professional, real, full 12-foot table as a piece of furniture that we're putting in our basement. Now, I want to be very clear here. You don't need to spend that kind of money, and you don't need to have that kind of space to get an effective practice session from home. Now, what I'm going to show you is I'm actually regressing. So my Frankenstein table, we've dismantled it. Some of the parts went over to my friend over at Chuck and Dice. You can actually see my rails on his videos now, and the underlayments also went to him. But the rubber pyramids, we're using those in my new table. So I came to the point in the new table build that I had to break down my old table, and I'm still waiting for delivery of the new table, which has been delayed. So I'm kind of out of the water right now. I don't know what to do. So I've regressed back to some of my earlier practice days. I broke out the 6-foot long fold out table, got my Amazon felt out, grabbed a few things from around the house to set up a throwing station and a back wall. And you can see that I'm using a dresser, I think it is, for the back wall to keep the dice on the table. So what can you do? What can you really practice with a rig like this? I mean, you're not going to get real world results by any stretch of the imagination, but you can do a few things. I measured out how far I needed to be, about 8 feet from the wall. That mimics about stick left 1 on pretty much on a 12-foot table. And what I could do from that is, I'll grab my dice here. I can actually set the dice, and I can actually practice a bit of a swing. I don't have rails, so it's not perfect, but you can but like I said, you could practice setting your dice quickly. You can practice your grip, and you can see what I'm doing there with the dice gripper, trying to get a consistent 3-fingered grip. And you could practice your landing zone and hitting in the same spot over and over and over. So there are a few techniques that you can work on, even though the results might not give you real-world casino. So there you have it. That's kind of where I'm at in my journey. I hope to have my new table here pretty soon, and we'll be doing a lot more videos from the table when that happens. But until then, this is what I've got to work with. I'm also going to post some links down below, and the idea here, guys, is not for you to go out and spend any money, but here's a few options if you're trying to get started. A link to a felt, a link to a table, but I highly encourage you, use what you have at home. Don't need to invest a whole lot of money into doing this. In fact, for around $100, you can get a table, some chips, and a layout, and you're good. Go from there. Okay, so before I let you go, I want to give you a sneak peek at the table that's being built. A couple of weeks ago, I spent a day in Denver, Colorado with the guys that are building the table, and it's going to be beautiful. There is a bit of a delay with the CNC shop. Hopefully that's going to be resolved pretty soon, and they can resume progress on the table, and I should have it hopefully in the next 6 to 8 weeks or so. Fingers crossed, of course. All right, guys, I hope you enjoy this, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Hey, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the wood shop at an undisclosed location in Denver, Colorado. I'm here today to work on my table. I should be taking delivery of it here before too long, but the guys that are doing this kind of slow. I'm here to speed things along. I'm here to give a little elbow grease and see what we can do. But first, you got to dress for the part. You got to get dressed these overalls here, if I can figure them out. You know, as I was growing up, we called these pawpaw pants. Yeah, I don't know how to put on pants. All right, here we are ready to work. Let's see what we can get done today, guys.